Hello and welcome to the AEW Dynamite review. We are the Dudley Boys of WhatCulture. I'm Adam Wilbourn, joined by Michael Hamflett and Michael Sidgwick, here to review everything that happened on last night's episode of AEW Dynamite. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube, where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review AEW Dynamite, but also AEW Collision, Raw, SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. Pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a round of the week complete with a quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As I said, though, joined by Hamflett and Sidgwick's review last night's Dynamite. 6 years of Dynamite, Sidge.
Yep. I mean, I already did that yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be funny. We kind of inadvertently torpedoed the preview by doing a 20-minute game of the anniversary show. So, yeah, 6 years, good for them.
Great game. Great game.
6 years. Genuinely class.
Newcastle United beat Sunderland 5-1 once, and I'm pretty sure that was a better game and an experience than the game. Jesus Christ. All right, anyway, anniversary year 4. Everyone hits all of it. What do you got?
And guess what, though? Good news, guys. There's now 2 AEWs because Ring of Honor's in the mix all the time for some... Anyway, I thought last night's show was one of the better Dynamites in recent weeks. My take on it is it was under the current sort of objective of what the show wants to be, of what the show can't help itself but be, what Tony Khan is currently failing at or succeeding at as a promoter or whatever. My take on last night's Dynamite, not necessarily a compliment, but I did really enjoy elements of the show, and I was encouraged by the Wrestle Dream card, right? This last Dynamite was nearing the best the company is capable of right now. I still have fundamental issues with what it's doing, if that makes sense. Like, Wrestle Dream main event, yep, I'm having some of that, and I would have built it a bit differently, actually, but the end justified the means, if you like. And there's, good matches. It just feels like, this is where we are now. This is where we are now. And there's just mistakes being made across the board, which I'm going to get into, but there was a lot to love on this show.
Yeah, that's about right for where I was sitting as well. A good show, but almost those mistakes, it's interesting because I think this was the type of good show where if you wanted to, or you just chose to watch it without really thinking too much about it, you would... I don't think it was trying to obscure the mistakes. I just think you would watch it thinking, yes, this is fine. This is in decent health. But knowing what we know, and, I think you can apply this to both majors, actually, at the moment. There'll occasionally be a Raw welcoming and be like, things are fine. I can see the fundamental problems that are underpinning all of this. And I got that a bit out of Dynamite last night because I did. I enjoyed it. But you can't help, I think, if you're watching it and critically analysing it, which we do for a job, but I think our brains are wired to do that anyway. Like, not have a little bit of a takeaway of thinking, but, like... This is why the company's in the state it's in, because of BS. Yeah. It's like it's just still got a bit of that permeating throughout. But I liked it.
I realised Wrestle Dream's like, 2.5 weeks away? Or
Dad, don't pay attention. I mean, it's my job.
It's always around the corner.
But
the PLE/pay-per-view was always around the corner.
You mentioned in the office earlier, were you surprised by how little they did for Title Tuesday in terms of this? It's like you were saying, it's the least that both sides have tried in a sort of head-to-head field.
NXT tried very hard. It's just terrible.
Yeah, it's abysmal. But
disagree, but okay.
I'm not again.
Okay.
I am not surprised by the relative lack of effort AEW was put into it, because it very much is consistent with Tony Khan's general outlook throughout 2025, where he's not marching wrestlers out to do raw speeches whenever CM Punk opens his mouth. He is not constantly talking about the feeling, the soul of AEW, the spirit of AEW is no longer really the stakes. He has had opportunities. He's been needled by, in the junkets and in the post-show press conferences of, do you want to do your bit where you bury WWE and, compare them to Harvey Weinstein or whatever. And he's learned some valuable, well overdue lessons of, it's good for the business. We're just going to concentrate on our own stuff. And that's good. That is good. He realizes belatedly it's a long game. If he just decides to put on a lot of, I mean, does he have many left? Big TV matches, right? To counter-program this Showdown NXT TNA show. It looks like he's trying too hard. It looks like he's gotten to. I think he realizes the optics of that have failed and dismally over the past however many years. Also, Blood and Guts is a reliable TV draw. The novelty of it being the first ever women's Blood and Guts, that feels like a big show. It's happening on TV.
Is that November, mid-November?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to realize, oh, well, if I can shoot some angles on that show and pump a good number for that, then I'll just get my number there. Thank you very much. It's the right decision.
Well, let's get into the 6-year anniversary Dynamite. We start off with a shot of the Young Bucks outside the Hard Cock Casino. Nick Jackson's favourite place in the world. Matt has got big ideas for their entrance tonight on the anniversary.
The Hard Cock looked good on TV, I thought. What? I was just like, no, you had fun?
It was where the hard cam was positioned. It just looked like a single small bleacher. When they did the wider shots.
Yeah, wider shots were nicer.
Yeah.
Like the ones, the photos I saw going into last night had me more excited than when the show actually opened.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the little splash of colour though. You know, because
I like that.
Hammerstein before they sprayed it grey.
Before they turned it to brutalist architecture. Looks like Gateshead Town Centre. It does.
GCW returns to Big Tesco.
Yeah. What was it you said earlier? Poundland.
Poundland. I'm born, bred, Gateshead, right? So, so I'm allowed to bury it.
Bred Gateshead.
I'm allowed to bury it. It's my hometown. It's my hometown. And it's bleak. It's bleak.
Yeah.
That's your catchphrase, actually. I know it's your life, but born bred.
Not anymore.
As in ripping the centre out of a loaf and then just living Gateshead.
Yeah.
Or working Gateshead, I should say.
Not for much longer.
Well, a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Bloody Wi-Fi.
Either way, we might be sitting a bit more pretty in a matter of months.
Is that even possible, bro?
Well, with you in charge,
You're so
it looks
pretty.
like it.
You're just so pretty, bro. Look at him.
Nick takes Brandon Cutler to hit the casino.
No.
They go to the...
across the foul mouth Sidgwick chicken.
They go to the high limit slots room. When we come back, Matt's very excited to tell Nick about the pyro, the confetti, the live tigers, alligators coming down the ramp. Where's all money gone? And we cut from that into the ring with a graphic reading, the Broke Bucks account balance, $0.
Right, okay. Did this need a skit?
Everything needs skip the young, wasn't it?
I know.
I'd like this if it was in WWE. I thought it was crap and charmless, but I'd like it if it was in WWE. I know who I am.
All right, say the quiet part loud now.
I would.
No, I get it.
They'd produce it effectively. They're by this point, there'd be a complete joke.
Well, not anymore.
There'd be a complete joke anyway, so I wouldn't have to take them seriously so they can get involved with all this sort of stuff. This, to get to here from where we started, is a bit like,
Same difference.
got bored of your thing again, the Young Bucks.
Yeah. I will forgive this for two reasons. One, this is a conditional forgiveness. If in fact they come into money again and I see some alligators and stuff.
Yeah. Teeing up an entrance.
Yeah, I mean, that would be incredible. I didn't need to see this produced version of Nick Jackson in a casino. It's just one of those, I keep talking about wrestling doing TV wrestling for the sake of it. It just, like, why have you gone to the trouble of, because in AEW canon, they get Cutler to film their own things and they edit their own things and stuff. Why would they go to the trouble of doing the slow-mo actual produced footage of them losing their ass in a casino? I will say that they could have just done it where Nick Jackson's looking sheepish, the bag's looking light. He's going like that to demonstrate without any of the footage of the casino. And Matt Jackson rushes into shot. And he's like, I've got this great idea for an entrance, and I've cleared it with the production team, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And then he's like, I just need that money. And the bag goes up like that. And it's like, it's all fine. It's all that Cutler interview stuff, whatever they used to do. And then he empties it. And then, because I really like this bit, the shot when they're outside of the arena where Matt Jackson's just staring a hole through Nick. And it doesn't dissolve, but it does that cut to them looking in exactly the same pose where Matt's still looking like Nick like that. So I love the implication of he's just been hating him all day. All day long.
Just trying to avoid eye contact.
Yeah. I really like that cut. That was good stuff. Yeah. You know what? That justified the bit for me this week.
There's a potential being the elite bit where you see Brandon Cutler like waving away. There's like an alligator tail.
There's not going to be a being the elite bit, you stupid slut. There's not going to be another being the elite. They just do videos uploaded to the channel.
Ah, okay, forget that.
I was being pedantic.
But like Brandon Cutler behind a door.
I just wanted to call you a stupid slut.
That's fair enough. Sorry, guys, and you see like an alligator tail and a lion, and Brandon Cutler's like, got to the trouble. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. Like you just see him like, sort of like ferrying them away.
And we got our first match of the evening. It was the Young Bucks and Josh Alexander taking on Brodido and a returning Kenny Omega. Great to see him back in the ring. He starts the match off.
I'm trying not to be upset, but we'll get to it.
Yes. He's back in there. Brody King comes in, hits the Bucks with a senton. Bandido connects with a springboard, dodged some super kicks. There was a series of Macarena spots. I thought of you immediately. The Bucks mock Bandido, but Omega's back and he's dancing.
Best wrestler in the world. Yes, I can eat some my favourite. It's like that bus meme. Happy face, sad face. Like, Kenny Omega getting to do bobbins on television. Happy face. Kenny Omega doing something that might draw some money for once.
Yep. Pretty much.
pretty much. Chant that.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Anyway, come on.
Sorry. Omega hits a...
Get on with it, man.
Omega hits a dive onto the Bucks following this. Bandido does a springboard moonsault onto the pile. King body slams everyone, and I mean literally everyone, onto Alexander. Well, up until Bandido comes in and, do it to you, which is a nice spot. Omega wants a dive, but gets super kicked by the Bucks, and Alexander hits a running crossbody. Nick hits a tornillo. Alexander hits a spinning torture rack slam out the corner, and Nick flies off the top onto Brodido to take us into a break. When we come back, we get the hot tag to Brody King, who runs wild, but Alexander catches Bandido with a slam on the apron. The Bucks hit a running PK on the apron, tried a tornillo again, but Omega cuts them off and basically drops one of the Bucks into the other one's cack. Hits a...
Did smile at that.
It's a Terminator.
It was more like his gooch.
It's a Terminator dive. Goes after Callis, who runs away. He's been on commentary, I should mention. Bandido wants the 21-plex, but Nick lands on his feet and backflips Bandido into Alexander's hands. King and Omega get back in there, and we get a triple tombstone from the baby faces. Alexander comes back there with German suplexes on everyone. Omega gets in there with a super kick party. There's an assisted neutralizer from Alexander and Matt Jackson, but Brody King breaks the count. Bucks want TK driver on Omega, but King nails Nick with a forearm. There's snapdragons to everyone from Kenny Omega, and he hits a V-trigger and a poison rana on Josh Alexander. The Bucks get taken out by a King dive. Omega hits a couple more. There's a powerbomb and a couple more V-triggers. Bandido hits the 21-plex, and Omega hits Josh Alexander with a one-winged angel to win it for his team.
I've got a lot of thoughts here. Not all of them positive. Like, I'm going to be exposed as an idiot, hypocrite, negative loser. Probably by next week. My position now, Thursday, October 2nd.
Yes.
Is I do not want to see a single trios match for at least a month. Like, at least a month. It is just a series of moves happening in front of me to use what I think is Michael Hamflett's best and most insightful, like, take on just the malaise that so much of modern wrestling is now. Like, I've seen so much of it. I haven't seen a sequence that has electrified me in one of these things for quite some time. I think there's been a quality dip in match quality in Dynamite. It's been happening for a while as well. And this match was sort of evidence of it. It was for a Young Bucks trios match featuring Kenny Omega. Might be one of the worst they've done. Like, still, like, I don't know, good, like, nice little 3 1/4, fun, audience enjoyed it. Some moments where I'm like, that's the stuff. Or not the stuff, or that was good. This is one of the weakest Young Bucks matches I can remember in quite some time. Very light in tone, even for this, I thought.
It felt like we've had 6 years of it.
Yeah, and we talked about it in the preview.
Like, that's what I got.
But then at the same time, they did that All-Star 8-man, Kenny's last match before this, and it was electrifying. It was turbulent, electrifying, just emotional, incredible. So that's why I'm trying to caveat it by saying, look, there'll be another one in a week. But here's the thing. If they do another one in a week and it turns out to be great, because I've seen so much of them and not all of them are that good, really, I won't be excited for the next one they do, irrespective of how good it might turn out to be. So I thought this is one of the weaker trios, party, all-star, whatever matches I've seen in quite some time. I lost interest in this match and got almost a little bit angry with it when the best spot on this match, where it was like, that is close to the stuff where it's like, my mind has been blown by how you have engineered the next spot, right? So already I'm not really caring who wins or loses, or I don't have this like really intense emotional investment in it. I'm just marveling at the arrangement of it and the athletic endeavor, which has a ceiling on how much you can give a toss, really. The stereo various reversals into that triple tombstone spot. I know it's AEW, and I know no moves are sacred. Within, honestly, about 30 seconds, the people who took the tombstones, the heels, were just back up doing stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're tombstones, and there's 3 of them. Are you blind? Jesus! It's like, all right, well, nothing matters then. Cool. Well, why am I watching the match? Seriously, I had my most...
There were 3 of them.
There were 3 of them. Are you blind? Jesus! And I in that moment, I got a little bit, and I never want to do this, man. Got a bit Rip Rogers, Cornette, Jim Ross, like what we doing here, really? And is the match so blistering and white knuckle and heart pounding that he can forgive? Oh, they're not really selling a great deal, but I'm so excited that I could care less. No, not really. This is where I decide to have a bit of a crisis. Do I constructively criticize Kenny Omega, or do I use genuine perspective? This dude has been through hell with that diverticulitis, like through hell. And part of me wants to say, don't muck about and go and don't have much time in that ring left. By your own admission, at times your performances, it is evident. One last swing of glory. One last swing of do your main event run. Please do your main event run. Stop feuding with the Don Callis family. Although at this point, as will be revealed, you cannot not. It's almost impossible not to feud with the Don Callis family, because you're going to run into one of their members at some point eventually. And kind of a booking problem at this point, considering that a lot of wrestlers have been feuding with them, even tangentially, for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Do that. Time is running out, by your own admission. Or do I just say, the guy's been through hell. He's kind of lucky to still be in the ring, lucky to be alive. Do we permit him, considering he's not on Dynamite all the time, to just, when he's on there, be grateful, just enjoy him. Just enjoy him, guys. Because, right, and here's the thing why I'm not in favor, but I understand why Kenny's not the top guy. Kenny isn't headlining the next pay-per-view, even though Ospreay, Swerve, MJF probably aren't making it, It's that he said, and I know he embellishes this, and I'll let you talk at some point, Hamflett, I'm sorry, I don't think he gives a toss, to be honest.
Do.
And I know he...
Like the Terminator dive cut off for the double super kick.
That was good.
I actually felt something. I was like, hey, you little bastards.
Yeah. But, yeah.
And we got to the finish in a bit.
Yeah. I know he embellishes this, and he has done historically, because he does like to tell sports-oriented stories. He does talk about what it means to be an athlete, and a declining one at that, to inform the stories he tells in the ring. But he did an interview for Observer Radio ahead of Allin, Texas, when he says, I have good days and I have bad days, and can't really tell when they're going to be. It's like he does look like a different performer from one match to the next. It's weird, the fluctuation. And I know I've got this Kenny brain where I'm like, right, okay, what's he doing? What's he look like? What's the definition? Is there a tan? What's going on? Like, he has variously looked incredible. Gabe Kidd, Anarchy in the Arena, that All-Star 8-man where I know he didn't have a great deal to do, but just the look, the spring, the pace. And then he'll have matches against like the Brian Cage TV match, or this one where he looks, or the run-in for like the Hangman Page reunion in the ECW arena, and that terrible V-trigger where you think, my God, he can look very, very laboured. But then next week, when he's feeling a lot better in himself, he can look like he's approaching the Kenny Omega of old. So on that basis, I understand why he does what he does. Because what if, all right, well, Kenny, you're doing a top guy run. What if he can't?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What if he physically can't reach those standards that he expects and demands of himself? And deep down, we're wrestling fans. We're quite fickle. We'd go, what's wrong with Kenny? I was like, I almost died, mate. So that's what's wrong with Kenny. And I'd feel like an asshole. So I do understand why he ain't the top guy. To a point, they're still not getting him as this aging, breaking down veteran who still can go on occasion. I don't even think they're getting that right. You're Kenny Omega, right? You're so clever. You can overthink things, or you can be very bold and, you know, march to the beat of your own drum and all the rest of it. On a fundamental basis, it's not just pro wrestling. It's one story beat leading to another, and then tone has to be considered. The last we saw of Kenny Omega was, and I know this happens all the time, so it doesn't really scan as anything big in and of itself, but you're meant to treat it like it does. The last time we saw Kenny Omega, he got a brain buster off the apron through the table. In wrestling logic, as much as it betrays itself because it can't help but be excessive, in wrestling logic, that is, out for weeks. You've ruined the guy's chances of being on a pay-per-view. Brutal, gruesome attack, stretcher job, the whole bit. You should return pissed off, like really, really pissed off, baying for that dude's blood. And within 2 minutes of his comeback match, the next time you see him, he's doing the Macarena.
Yeah. No,
Hey,
it's
na,
I totally
na,
agree.
na, hey, Macarena. Na, 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 hey, Macarena. Hey, na, 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 na. Hey, why don't you chin Carl Fletcher? What are we doing here? Where is your character's head at? Well, it's an ass to a degree. Yeah, this is the worst I've felt about Kenny Omega in a while. And again, do I blame him? Should I just be grateful for him? Here's another thing as well. And I hope she's listening. Sorry, you will get to talk at some point. Jules.
Hey.
You know Jules?
Yeah, love Jules.
Cherished listener,
Yeah.
live show attendee, like lovely, lovely, lovely person. Jules, I think I've got it. It was Jules who asked me this. I don't think I had an answer. Once asked, why do male wrestlers insist upon wetting their hair, or a lot of them wetting their hair before matches? It's a weird look. They look a bit oily and skin crawling-y or whatever. Your answer was during last night's Dynamite. He looked frazzled, Kenny. The hair was like all over the place, and realistically, and I know he's had diverticulitis. He's wrestling a party match, light in tone trios match. His hair's all over the place. Wet that hair next time, Kenny. Maybe that would help. Do you know what I mean? Looked a bit silly.
Yeah. There is only Kenny Omega to talk about here, because the match is a match. You've seen it gazillion times.
Done better as well.
Yeah.
The Bandido's class in it.
Josh Alexander.
Sorry, one more thing. There were certain Young Bucks kicks where it's like, that's nowhere near.
Yeah.
Just looked a little bit limp.
They've raised the bar for what it is to phone it in. Like, phoning it in, you used to be able to tell. Like, now, like, they work at an unbelievable rate, and you still know they're kind of like, hey, can we ask today? or just not really at it, like the creatively maybe it's not what you want. Maybe you think, you know what, the 59th match we shared the ring with Kenny Omega was the one, but 60,
tell him the start. Tell him the
far.
start.
We did some math calc and trig on Kenny Omega in AEW via cage match and via a little bit of rudimentary counting. So it's off maybe, but not by much if it's off at all. Kenny Omega, we landed on 121 matches now in AEW.
So Kenny Omega has in total since 2019 worked 120 matches for All Elite Wrestling.
Which is a good run if you consider that 2 of those years were spent virtually on the shelf for all of them, right?
One of them was completely off calendar year-wise. 2024, he was not in the ring at all.
So, that's a better number than it might first sound, 120. But 68 included an and/or combination of the Young Bucks and Hangman Page. So we're dealing with over 50% of this, elite... I was going to say elite melodrama, and I don't mean that here, but, they like working with each other to the point where the stories will keep overlapping to constantly bring them together. And
they haven't really connected in about 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah. And I understand why wrestlers would do that. And I understand why you would want comfort zones and you want people you've got chemistry with. But one of the oldest arguments about Kenny Omega and AEW as a TV wrestler is that now I want to see him with him and now I want to see him with them and whatever. And we're 6 years in Dynamite. And he
hasn't worked Darby yet.
The problem persists.
He has not worked Darby Allin yet.
Yeah. It's as Sidge points out, if you're running out with Kenny, if the clock's ticking out, whatever, all the more reason to get to this or this or this or this. I was watching Kenny Omega, and I've only got thoughts on Kenny Omega rather than the match. And, there's more to come, I guess, because of what he's not set up with Fletcher in terms of setting up 2 other programs here. So it's not as if he isn't being made a busy wrestler. It's not like he hasn't got ongoing stories. He's just, reviving one with this returning star we're going to talk about. And they did, at least to your point yesterday on the preview, address a historic rivalry.
The continuity, yeah.
He was reminding me here of, I'm glad you brought this up, Sidge, about not quite knowing what you're going to get out of Kenny Omega from 1 week to the next, because I think that's quite, in Tony Khan's defense, that must be quite difficult to book for.
Yeah.
And that reminds me of what we're saying about Roman Reigns in WWE right now. Roman Reigns when he does return to the stories he's directly attached to, but he still never feels like he fits, especially as a babyface. There's no real place for the regular TV character Roman Reigns anymore, which is why it all feels a bit off when he returns. Yes, he beats up the heels he's feuding with or whatever, but nonetheless, it's but I don't think I want you around all the time, but I don't want you around not at all. So I don't know how you work. And another comparison I felt was that he's starting to remind me, this is my personal experience with Kenny Omega now, is a bit like watching Samoa Joe. If I'm in the building, he's the wrestler I'm most excited to be in the presence of. On television, I'm starting to give or take him a bit. And that's a tricky balance to strike, because if I'm seeing Joe, I've said this for years, there aren't many better live wrestlers than Samoa Joe. He does something to the building, to the atmosphere, to the vibe, which is why you book Samoa Joe. But does that translate through the screen? I would argue more often not now in his later years, and I'm starting to feel that with Kenny. Seeing him at Forbidden Door the other month, I could have gone to the bar for several other matches, but there was absolutely no way I was missing Kenny Omega. No way. That would have been the biggest disappointment of the night, to say if they'd have opened with that cage match. I've missed his entrance. I've missed the first spot he did, whatever. You cannot miss a second of, I was watching that match in the building and kind of watching Kenny most of the time, Darby Allin. TV, it's just not coming through like it used to, but for the reasons Sidge has outlined, sometimes you can't, I'm not making an excuse for him, but you can't expect what you would have gotten previously. I don't know what to expect with Kenny Omega. He's a difficult wrestler to analyze and watch, and I feel as though if he was booked for, if we take Kenny to know his body better than anybody else and him say, I wake up some days and it's just not right, something tells me if he was booked for January the 4th at the Hague, he could wake up one of those days, not feel right, and fake it.
Yeah, but you can't do that often.
But you can't do that in a run. You can't do that in a run. You can't do that in a world title run. So what do you do?
You would take time off and do everything possible. But then again, he took time off before this one. And
what do you do?
So it's just, you never know, because there was a week between the Hangman Page reunion and the All-Star 8-Man, the best one in living memory. And I was worried about it because of what he looked like when he did that V-trigger to Archer alongside Page. Then he looked amazing. He looked like Kenny in that match. And this week, he didn't really look like Kenny. A bit laboured, a bit slow. And he'd had 3 weeks off beforehand or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It must be hard to it's got to be hard. But I'd rather see Kenny than not at the end of the day. Did not necessarily have to feud with the Don Callis family for 8 years.
So post-match, Brodido celebrate up the ramp. Omega stays in the ring to interact with the Young Bucks, but gets attacked by Josh Alexander, who beats him down. The Bucks look on, don't really know what to do. Josh is like, do you want to go slip the boot in? But they don't do that. Then Jurassic Express's music hits.
You need to pump that up,
What's that?
The music and the buildings. It's a bit 90s WCW in terms of... That's the theme.
Out comes Jack Perry and Luchasaurus. They stare down the Bucks. All this time, by the way, Josh Alexander just in the corner with Kenny Omega. Perry takes out the Bucks with a double DDT. There's a double choke slam from Luchasaurus. But Alexander fights Perry as a pump knee. Omega hits a Snapdragon. And then Omega starts shoving Jack Perry, telling him he didn't forget the whole strategy job on him last year. And Perry shoves Omega, but he moves him out of the way so he can hit the Bucks with a dive. And he and Luchasaurus fight with them to the back. Anything else you want to say about this?
I like this.
I've always loved the Jurassic Express Young Bucks dynamic. Do I like the idea of the Elite reforming?
They probably do.
I know they do, mate. We've already done it in 2023, and as much as I wanted it to be better, it was fine. It started off so promisingly with that mirrored the image from the Revolution 2020 tag when they came together, and then the feud with the BCC. It was 2023, so there's this like feeling of, oh God, this is all untenable, and we are rapidly approaching a breaking point for all of it. But the program wasn't amazing. I don't know, man. I said then I don't want to see them interact with each other for a while to make it special, because this 2023 didn't. This doesn't feel special either to me. But, I'm an Elite mark who vastly prefers Kenny Omega and Young Bucks separately to one another, which is almost impossible. But you know what I mean? I like them three. I do like them together. I like Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks together more than I like the Elite. Does that make any sense at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Absolute at his worst megalomaniacal 1997 Shawn Michaels, but unfortunately that requires him being in the Generation X with Triple H.
Yes.
You've got to...
Trade off.
Who is the showstopper? Me. And you're the one I want to look at, not the guy holding the microphone in the back. This is, again, going to sound like a pylon. I don't mean it to, but to Sidgwick's intro about something's not quite, bigger picture, not quite unfocused, whatever. Kenny Omega remembering Jack Perry and a stretcher job, good. Like, the Fletcher one was 3 weeks ago. You don't care about that right now. I would argue that's a reveal of it still being a little bit unfocused, but I appreciate the Don Callis family argument of if you're in the feud with them, it counts, I guess.
Yeah. Let's say it's real. You still shouldn't do the Macarena. You should be wrestling with a little bit of, you know what, I've got business to attend to later, and it's kind of personal with the Bucks, but it's going to get much more personal with Fletcher later on. He didn't get the chance to do that because of what happens on the show next. So I will say, if it's real, that's how I would headcanon it. Stop doing the Macarena. Stop pissing about in general.
Having said that, I'd have, because in 2 weeks it's his birthday, I'd have Jack Perry give him a cake to make up for.
I did have another thought about this first match, which is just as well, because I don't have that much about the rest of the show. Love the main event, though, now. The Macarena, Kenny Omega's like, he's about to enter a blood feud, but apparently not, even though he's been in one for 2 years. Work that out. Brody King's going to do the Macarena one.
Yeah.
And it's going to be amazing.
It'll be fantastic, yeah. Proper stuff out.
We're talking about DJ Casper as well. You get Don Callis family, more of a cha-cha slide kind of group.
Yes.
What?
Somebody's going to make an AI, that big picture with all of them on this one. Dynamite, sliding to the left.
To the left. Chris, remember cha-cha slide?
Sadly, it was at all the 18th birthday parties when I was 18. Yeah. Not like you.
Omega's alone in the ring. He says he's been here for bloody 6 years. Since day one, seeing the highest of highs and lowest of lows. He says, look, fans who've been there from the beginning, or this is his first show, he appreciates and values them all.
I mean, probably not, Kenny, but it's nice that you said it.
Omega's a better person because of everything that's happened and looks forward to the future. Goodbye and good night. Bang. And the bloody lights guy must have thought bang meant turn off the bloody lights, because it all goes dark
Scaffolding hasn't lights out Broken Jones. It's been 6 years, lads.
See the Matt Reigns thing that you tagged?
Might as well just say,
See that?
Yeah,
when the lights go out now, who's returning our debut? Wrestling needs to spin it with the tropes. I'm serious.
We've sacked our 1,800 at the production staff there.
Yeah, it is so like tropey that it just gobbles up everything. You know what I mean?
That point you made about like Michael Cole's ability to sell shock at the sight of somebody in a hoodie.
Yeah, it's
Like,
it's almost impressive.
It's like the sort of it's the same with the lights out. The lights have gone out. Somebody's in a hoodie.
It's like if
Those
you
are the two.
you'd make yourself look like dumbasses.
Yeah.
Well, when the lights come back on,
I could not believe this.
Me
I mean, to
neither,
be,
buddy.
to be fair. Oh, holy I did say it in my head.
Yeah,
Not for the right reasons, mind you.
I was also shocked.
there was a masked man standing behind Kenny Omega, and he takes the mask off. What the hell are you doing here, Andrade? Andrade is all elite again. Spinning underhook DDT, and just the old cherry on the icing on the cake. Don Callis Family, anyone fancy it? Oh, wait a second, I'm going to leave this button more than once on this podcast.
You're joking. Not another one?
It's a bit funny. It is a bit funny. It is funny. Like,
Bing bong, Andrade.
like this Callis Family stuff. It's ridiculous, but like, you know, I will say in defense of Tony Khan, the Don Callis Family were kind of badly lacking a strong in-ring worker who's going to consistently get you 3 3/4 star matches without necessarily having like really big room megastar charisma. They just needed one more of them.
Yeah.
After Josh Alexander.
2 more,
And Hechicero and, you know, all of them pretty much apart from... To be fair, I mean, Takeshita could headline pay-per-views, I reckon.
Mm-hmm.
Okada's legacy Okada. Fletcher is on, like, an unstoppable trajectory. But the last thing they needed was a second Josh Alexander. Do you know what I mean?
This is boring thinking about it rather than feeling anything because it's Andrade. How could you feel a goddamn thing? Is this
14 members now?
It is funny.
It is funny.
It's funny. Like, they know what they're doing there. It's a gag, and it's an all right one.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I want out of AEW as well. You know, All Elite Wrestling on the whole is really missing this sort of trivial, irreverent vibe.
finally they found a stable with which to illustrate this.
Yeah, why so serious?
AGW, all gags wrestling.
18 members in total, if you include former members of the Don Callis family in the AEW roster.
So why would you do that?
This feels like the sort of thing that, like,
Who's formerly...
One more.
Go on.
It's time to play the game! Time to play the game! Ha 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 ha!
Who's ever been in the Don Callis family? Eh?
Sammy Guevara joined when... I've got you, Peyton, Chris.
Oh, I remember that, yeah. Sammy Guevara.
So as a result, did Melo join with Sammy Guevara?
No, dear, that's wrong.
Hang on, there was some kind of thing.
Women?
There was some kind of... Was it the Callis family who, after months and months of intense negotiations, finally were closing in on that huge transfer where it was Jake Robertson LFI to the... Here we go! So I'm going to say it's Roosh, a former member. He never joined!
July.
He was courted about 5 weeks ago once, and I was like, oh yeah, we got him. And despite some great work for the family, it's going to LFI. So does that mean Dralistico was a former member of the Don Callis family?
No, dear,
Not
that's
according
wrong.
to this Wikipedia page.
Beast
at least.
Mortos. Who the f*** an LFI then? The Rush is a former member of the Don Callis family per the wiki, and this results from LFI being transferred over to the Don Callis family or Don Callis to LFI.
I agree.
Or Don Callis to Jake Roberts. Here we go. Then, then who was in LFI?
Hang on. No. Right. On an episode of Rampage back in July.
You man! How long has this been going on?
Right. On an episode of Rampage from 2024, so it must have been one of the finals.
Yeah.
On an episode of Rampage, Roosh joined the Don Callis family, and then on the October 8th episode of Dynamite in 2024, Callis acquired Lance Archer from Jake Roberts in exchange for Roosh, who reformed LFI under Jake Roberts as
Right,
Cheerleader.
So we've got
got
rather than bringing the whole group.
Yeah.
in.
So we've got two left.
From the former members.
Brian Cage? Oh, Powerhouse Hobbs. He was kicked out for getting injured.
Yeah. He hit Kenny Omega full in the head with a steel chair. Remember that? Boop!
Yeah.
You get like one of them every 5 years.
Yeah. Not in the dub.
No.
So we've got one more to get.
You can get this one.
Not Brian Cage.
Not Brian Cage.
He's still there, but he's inactive. Okay.
Yeah, he's one of the 14 current members.
Aye.
Along with Mark Davis, of course.
Christ, aye. Oh, Ospreay.
Mark Davis, because he something like while he was in a coma, signed this mark.
Will Ospreay, who was in the Don Callis family for however long, the heel Don Callis family, and he was a babyface.
And then he left, and then he was like, I still owe you that favour, though, obviously. Wasn't that something?
Yeah. Be great when it like sort of at this point it's a gag. So Tony Khan will be loving this joke about like we'll stick another member in, like the people are, it's going viral, people are making the pictures, the whole deal. There's 20 of them, Jesus.
You're blind.
And it's like, and like, you know, the more matches they're going to be in, the more there's going to be some winners, but you're going to need some losers, you're going to need some pin eaters. It's like,
We've already got Rocky Romero. What more could you possibly need? That's his job.
Tony Khan's like, I love this. I wanted to, like, it's up to Christmas time. So I want to do one a week. It's like an advent calendar of like Don Callis family members, and like somebody sees an opportunity at the back, like AR Fox's hand shoots up. No, you! You'll never get you, AR Fox.
Sorry, I do.
You will never join this family.
Guys, I've got to.
I wish you didn't have one.
Although if you did, maybe one of them would know where your passport was.
I've got to, guys. I've got to throw my hands up here and apologise. I've misspoken, and I'm a journalist. I want to get my facts straight. There are actually only 13 members of the Don Callis family right now on this episode of AEW Dynamite. Any more you want to say about Andrade?
I'll tell you one thing about Andrade. I tweeted this. Hopefully the mega fans forgive me. The whole point, right, of a debut is, holy look at that. And it's like, oh my God, this person has arrived. I would love to see them wrestle. And then you have the conversations of like, oh, well, they didn't, obviously they've jumped, hence it mustn't have gone well in the previous company. Maybe this company can make the most of them. And they can reach that world title level that some fans believe they are capable of getting to. Like, you can't do this with Andrade, but you left. Yeah. So you literally can't do this Andrade. One, I think everyone's figured out that he's can consistently give you 3 3/4 star matches if you like that sort of thing. Some of his stuff, like that elbow, looks absolutely incredible. Sometimes he takes unhinged bumps where I'm like, hell yeah. He can make me just bleed a little bit, right? Because he's got this ridiculous recklessness at times for his own well-being. And I always value that in a professional wrestler. Everyone knows what he can do. And I don't want the conversation again. I've had enough of Gail Kim already. Like, I don't want the same circular conversations of like, oh, well, Andrade's getting botched. No, he isn't. No, he isn't. Is he floating around in the mid-card doing some good matches here and there? Well, that's what you get out of him. That's what he's there for. So, and another thing, his last AEW match was in December. The very end of that month, 2023. It's like, it's not one of these...
The Miro thing.
You did this to me.
His finger on that.
World's End, or?
Yeah.
Not one of those, they've had 3 years or 4 or 5 years, and now they're in a different landscape. He was there, like, in a manner of speaking, last year, pretty much. You know what I mean?
It's a bit Monday Night Warsy, this one, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like the NWO. The NWO got crushed for a bit. Like it's just, yeah. Oh, Rick Rude's here. That was, yeah, you do go, holy shit, it's Rick Rude. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, following on from this, we got a lovely highlight video package of all the years of AEW Dynamite, major matches, major moments. Really good stuff. Well worth watching that.
See the Punker in it?
Yeah.
They picked the specific clip of him in the Sting makeup.
Yeah.
We had CM Punk for a bit, but it was more just in reverence of a bigger star.
Yeah, and he was just pissing about. He didn't take us seriously.
Yeah.
Just like us.
When did AEW become the entire sideways laughing emoji?
I don't know. Last year, probably. I was going to say something else about Andrade.
I like this video. This was good. This is what I want.
Yeah,
from, like, celebration episode.
Do it at the goddamn start. I had one more thing to say about Andrade. I don't care about his attitude, by the way. Who cares? It's not my money.
Maybe Tony
I don't have to.
some boring business here, and it's like CMLL related, and they know he goes down really well there, and this MJF thing's been a success story, and that relationship's worth grass screen anywhere you water it. Like, it's a good relationship he's got with CMLL. But, maybe it is just as simple as, you're a billionaire. You can do anything you want, and that somebody put a call in. Now, if you can get him back, that'd be good. Got you. Genuinely, right, in he comes.
I don't care about his attitude. He might get a funny story out of it that can entertain me for a day on Twitter.
It's a Dynamite 3rd anniversary that you had to fight with Sammy Guevara. It's anniversary law.
Anniversary.
I know that because our terrible game yesterday resulted in sending me to read about the stuff going on around those shows. Because I was like, why was he there? But it was like it was tainted by the news of the fight.
That wasn't the same as National Scissoring Day, was it? I want that day to be.
Yeah, you don't want that. No. That was just tainted by the blow up between AEW and CM Punk. Everything was tainted.
Mark Briscoe's backstage, talks about how he's been consumed over the last 6 months by 3 letters, MJF. And he shouldn't have said his brother's name. He's learned MJF has how words have consequences, which is something Briscoe proved it all out. He was told he couldn't win the big one, but he won a pretty big one with MJF now being sent on sabbatical effectively. MJF cost Briscoe from getting a TNT title match. Supposed to be hologram. Now it's Orange Cassidy, of course. He's happy for his friends. He wants to see them succeed. He's going to be celebrating with him once he wins the TNT title tonight, while MJF is at home picking tacks out of his ass.
Love that closing line. This felt like a response, not to our podcast, but maybe. I watched this thing. Well, what next for you? I think this might have been. I think this is basically a very well delivered, long form version of. I'm not just going to do conglomeration stuff, guys. Don't worry. Relax, you stupid Brit bitches.
Yeah. Whole point.
What was a response to our podcast?
Who can say?
Injury
you
crisis.
Can't say it wasn't. So what are you gonna do about it?
No, I like this same message. Like, if the star's out and there's people injured and all that sort of stuff, the whole thing is it's supposed to be opportunity for others. And I was kind of raging last week that about 3 of them got squandered. Like Kingston Cassidy, Mark Briscoe. It's like, you don't give a toss about any of these. And this was a reversal of that, I thought. Yeah, quite a bit of that on the show.
1 out of 3 is bad.
You're there going, Jesus, they had a tax match at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I was annoyed by this as well.
It's all the time, man. It's all dead.
I know it's all dead.
I'm not saying that to you. I'm just saying, but that's...
Yeah, well, you know what they did?
I don't want to be dead inside looking at all dead things.
You should have had, the NXT Normal LC, of course, they had diamonds rather than tax. So. Anything?
I mean, if start making the weapons colourful, and I will actually pay attention.
I mean, they did. They have. There's a rich history in AEW. Legos.
Gummy bears in the bags.
Hey, do you want to come? Like, what do you mean Legos? It's just like, do you want to come round and play PlayStations, buddy? Oh, how many have you got? 1. What the f*** are you saying a plural then?
Do you want your friend Craig to come round or Graham? I don't want to play Legos with Craig. Mom. I just want to play Nintendo. Which what? SNES or Game Boy or what? Like, Nintendo.
Whichever one was a popular
No,
software at the time.
We had no problem with SNES.
I said
Bit more
they call it
clarity.
the SNES over in America, or at
They
least
simplify things over there and make it better.
Yeah.
Or at least like
SNES.
certain gaming YouTubers do, so I'm assuming they're getting it right. They're meant to be the authority. I like to call it the SNES.
SNES. That's like hearing Kurt Angle say double E. When he was the GM,
Yeah,
he
he was
couldn't do
going to
it.
say it. Yeah. N64.
Can't hear
The
that.
Y?
Shut up, you GameCube.
And then we got our second match of the evening for the TNT title.
Very gay.
It was Fletcher versus Orange Cassidy. Of course, it was meant to be Hologram. Get well soon to Hologram. Was explained away by an attack by Fletcher, I think, on Collision. Early on, Orange Cassidy has to avoid the brainbuster. Tries a backslide, puts the brakes on a Fletcher leapfrog attempt, and just casually rolled to the floor. Cassidy he keeps wanting to put his hands in his pockets, obviously, but gets booted right in the face. Another big boot from Kyle Fletcher as Cassidy went up top, takes us to commercial. When we come back, Cassidy starts firing up, tries for the pockets again, another thrust kick. And this time Fletcher traps Cassidy's hands in his pocket so he could just kick him a little bit more. He wants a lawn dart in the corner, but Cassidy hits an arm drag and little kicks, and they build up from Orange Cassidy. But Fletcher dodges a PK.
Doggers. What's that?
Cassidy sends Fletcher from buckle to buckle. Slingshot DDT. Cassidy wants a crossbody, but Fletcher catches him with a Michinoku driver for 2. Fletcher wants a brainbuster. Stun Dog Millionaire from Cassidy. Fletcher counters another one into a Snapdragon. Liger Bomb into a Cassidy DDT. Spinning DDT for a nice two count on Carl Fletcher for Orange Cassidy, who wants the orange punch. Fletcher spins out of that. They trade sort of powerbomb, beach break attempts, spin attempts. Spinning Tombstone from Carl Fletcher gets a near fall.
And I mean,
Yep, that's what happened in the match. So he's
Accurate button press to stop taking the piss.
Oh my God.
They fight.
accurate button press.
They fight on the ropes. The referee gets taken out. Or
Stop laughing at
I wanted the buttons. I still wanted the buttons, so I don't know what you're being a dick for.
Fletcher and the ref are gone. Orange Cassidy is distracted by Don Callis, but thankfully Hologram, who I was told earlier on obviously was taken out, he's back. He makes the save, chases off Don Callis, but then becomes evil.
That's
Oh,
not what happened.
It becomes
inaccurate button press.
What have I become?
Well, you know, I think maybe he listened too much of the 7 wrestlers theory from earlier on this week with Michael Sidgwick, because he turned to the dark side.
He never plugs anything that much. He just wants to do his voice and get a pop.
Also, it was really fun. You just letting loose.
I like my parents walking in on me watching Kane bit.
yeah.
That was good. That was good. It's worth listening to that alone.
That was really funny. He's all right. So evil Hologram crosses Orange Cassidy, and Fletcher hits a top rope brainbuster for the 1-2-3. Post-match, Fletcher and Hologram put the boots to Orange Cassidy.
Give him the beat, Hollow.
Oh, DJ.
What do you want to wear? What do you want to wear for your wrestling attire? Well, you know, I'm kind of a brawler. I'm not one of these flashy wrestlers, so I just like to wear trinks and beats. Just a pair of good old black. Just a pair of good old black trinks and beats from me.
Sick of these beats and trinks wrestlers. Sick of them.
But yeah, honestly, Ring of Honor's getting a bit boring, man, honestly. 2008, 2009. I know you said there's a code of honor, but we need to get some flavor in there. There's just so many guys just wearing trinks and beats.
Oh, I'm after some paracetamol, mate. Anyone need anything from Beats?
Beats to asses. Oh, God, that's good stuff.
Roderick Trong and Mark Briscoe run out to make the save. Callis brings out the entire family. Have a clown car.
It's Hollywood and the Wolfpack.
Oh, God, it's Takeshita, Lance Archer, Rocky Romero, Hector Sarah, Josh Alexander, Andrade.
It's like Man City win the league, bring their coaches out.
And then Hologram, all of a sudden, rips off his shirt. Someone's not put tempe in the meter as well because the electricity starts flickering and stuff like that. It's El Clon. It's the evil hologram, but not actual hologram here.
Got ya.
And guess what? Here's the twist. He's joined the Don Callis family.
You're joking. Not another one?
Again.
So they are 14 members now.
Yeah,
stand corrected.
It's a bit.
Yeah, I quite like it, but on the night, but then it's like, every babyface, like through statistical inevitability, will end up be feuding with the Don Callis family.
They should be substantially more dangerous than the Death Riders.
So the conglomeration, who's feuding with the Don Callis family at present? Hangman Page, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Ops.
Are they?
Well,
No.
not really. I suppose I was thinking because they'll theoretically, like Hobbs in particular, will now be drawn to Hangman Page and be asked to like pick a sides, Joe. And Page has been feuding with them. Conglomeration.
Kenny Omega, Brodido,
Young Bucks are not.
conglomeration.
Didn't love Josh Alexander.
There's at least 3 acts unaffiliated with one another who are feuding with the Don Callis family. At least 3.
$14 of them. I just wanted you to do.
Are you blind? Jesus.
Match was all right, though.
I like the match. The match had me purring a little bit. Like nothing you've never seen before,
No.
but a blistering, quite heated, though the crowd wasn't amazing, especially with Tony Storm. Yeah.
Oh dear, I didn't like that.
Quite heated, like kind of frenzied, back and forth, well executed. The kind of thing that it's hard to do and get any kind of response, but I was like starting to really get into it. And then to their credit, they timed the match well enough and paced it well enough so that when the El Clon angle happened, I was getting a little bit annoyed. I was into that and the bloody heels ruined it. Still though, I understand needs must and it's a replacement, and maybe Cassidy was going to defend fellow conglomerator hologram's honor by going to work Fletcher at the pay-per-view, and everyone has to lose on pay-per-view to a degree, but I mean they've just Cassidy and Eddie Kingston just part of the furniture now.
Yeah, not good, but the match was. I was invested in both. I was the same as Sidge. When the fix was in with the finish, I was a little bit disappointed for the right reasons.
And Fletcher still looks like he's going to kill someone one day.
Yeah. This match with me lives and dies by how invested you are in the characters, and they had them both here at that nice level. Like they'll probably be fine with Orange Cassidy, but there's always a higher ceiling than fine. Kingston, Cassidy, just because they're back and they settle back in again. There was genuine, proper excitement about their return, and it's been like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Tony Khan only knows one speed with this sort of thing, doesn't he?
Aye.
Renee's backstage with Mercedes.
Money.
Renee congratulates her on beating Riho. She says
Tired.
13 days away from being the longest
There's a good
tenured
bit coming up here,
TBS
Sid.
champion. She's also 9 belts, Moné. Moné says, you're not stupid or dumb. You're spitting straight facts. She's celebrating herself, celebrating 6 years of Dynamite, and she's going to defend the TBS title next week on Title Tuesday, but she wants to defend against someone from Florida, and she's never wrestled in Daly's place before. Renee talks about the new women's tag team titles. Renee says she wants them as well, but she's not sure who her partner should be. And Mini Moné comes into the shot. Huge pep. Mercedes is angry at Harley Cameron, obviously. Harley's talking about the chemistry they have together, but Mercedes says that every time they team, Cameron loses and walks away. And Mini Moné says clearly she's playing hard to get. Still no word on who she's facing for the TBS title next week, though.
I have an idea for Mercedes Moné and the women's tag team tournament, and I think she should win it because it's 2 more belts because she can just hold them both. They put her with, was it last week when Robin Renegade helped her beat down Rio in the go-home 2 weeks ago, in the go-home angle, when Rio beat Robin Renegade?
I can't remember.
Yeah. It was.
She agrees to team with Robin Renegade, and then they twin magic their way to winning their belts. Robin Renegade will slide under the ring. Like the Renegade twins are doing all the work. Moné's like, great. And then they win the belts and she carries them both and everybody knows there's three, Jesus. And like she just gets that. And in the process, you reject Harley Cameron. Like you ramp that up. Harley Cameron's trying to like campaign to be on a team, that like sympathetic babyface thing. And Harley Cameron's got women's champion Kris Statlander in the meantime, who they can fail to win that tournament. But in the meantime, like Moné's won the belts with both Renegades just as a way to get 2 belts.
Do you think Moné's going to win the title off Stat?
I think it's a setup, Willow.
Yeah,
I just
maybe.
didn't want to divide the audience between Willow and Toni.
Mm-hmm.
I love how they've handled Kris Statlander since she's won the belts. So this now feels big enough that if he did that, it'd feel massive.
So I've Googled, whilst pretending to listen to the last 2 minutes of the podcast, Mercedes Moné says she wants to wrestle a wrestler from Florida.
Correct.
From Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Well, according to Google, Gemini, a piece of crap that is. From Ponte Vedra Beach, probably unlikely given she's contracted with TNA. And they have a working relationship with WWE. It's Alicia Fox. Where'd you say you're working? The Durbers? I won't allow it. Michelle McCool
Don't think so.
is from Palatka, Florida.
Busy podcasting and pissing off the dead man's OGs.
From Jacksonville, Florida, it's Bobby Blank Kelly.
That could be it.
Miami Gardens, Florida, United States, probably more likely than all of them Diamante, who had an unbelievable match. Look at that face. Unbelievable match with Layla Hirsch. Last year, was it?
Yeah.
Against who, sorry?
Layla Hirsch.
And God bless the United States.
Debbie Malenko. That would be a 2021 Tony Khan move, that.
Yeah.
Like, what? This is amazing. That can't happen. CJ Perry.
No.
Not really an in-ring talent, but Missy Hyatt.
Yeah. Saw her working indie shows as a manager last year.
Oh my God, I can't believe this. There is a former WWE Women's Champion from Jacksonville.
Harvey Whippleman.
Sable.
Bring her in. That's a
Uh,
good shout, eh?
Lita's from Florida. Oh my God, you get a first dance campaign if she was coming in these days. It's desperate. So basically, inconclusive research.
More next week.
Yeah.
Maybe a game. Who knows? Then we got
That's what this podcast needs. More games.
Joe Hobbs and Hangman Page versus the Death Riders, Mox, Claudio, and Daniel Garcia. Joe, what you did to Shibata, I'll get you. Claudio, Hobbs, not worth it, Joe, leave it. Anyway, Death Riders isolate Joe.
What you did to Shibata?
It's a good match, this.
You went down in my estimation.
Just trivialized it.
Joe brings in Page, who just batters Garcia, forearms, punches, dives. Hobbs comes in and just wrecks everyone, but Mox goes after the eyes. Hobbs is like, I don't care. Huge lariat from him. Garcia tries to attack him from behind. You effed up chance. And Hobbs runs through him. And Mox tries a dive, but Hobbs catches him and just slams him on the apron and ragdolls him to the floor to take us to a break. When we come back, Hobbs is in trouble, but he hits a power slam and gets the hot tag to Page. Joe's not best pleased. Feels like he kind of stole the tag from him there. Garcia gets hit with a Death Valley driver. There's a face-off as Mox comes in between Page and Mox, obviously. They trade finisher attempts. Claudio gets a blind tag. Page gets taken out with a pile driver. Charging uppercut from Claudio. The Page,
Uppercut.
Page kicks out. Hobbs comes in, takes out Claudio with a spine buster. Garcia pulls Hobbs to the floor. Joe sends Garcia crashing on the outside. Mox hits Joe with a paradigm shift. And Page comes in, hits a dead eye on Mox, turns into a pop-up uppercut from Claudio Castagnoli. Joe makes the save. Page hits the buckshot and gets the 1-2-3 post-match. Hey, we're all celebrating. There you go, Hobbs. There's your trios title. There you go, Joe. There's your trio title. Joe's like, go on, mate. And Page is celebrating with the world title. And Joe spins around, gets right in his face. There's Jerry Lynn to separate them all. And security, Joe's yelling, saying, Page, you've never beaten me. And there's shots being thrown, security having to step in. Hobbs trying to keep the peace. And it's all kicking off.
Wild, considering who wasn't in this match and who was in the opener, and this was the best trios match on the show. There was a point really towards the finish. Daniel Garcia made some weird noises in this match, and I don't need to hear them ever again.
We've got a thing for this, haven't we?
Down with the Sidgwick.
Yeah, I don't need to hear them again. Part of his things, right, was it a little bit subtle, this Joe Page thing, or was it perfect for how, like, it didn't... I know they were, like, selling it on commentary, like, oh, you know, Hangman got tagged in first and Joe's a little bit seething and stuff. Actually, no, I think I've changed my mind. I'm glad they didn't lay it on too thick because they've got plenty of time to, like, combust in the next couple of weeks. Broadly in favor of the direction. There were points during this match away from the Joe Hangman stuff where I generally thought, like, a team had got the advantage, and then, oh, Christ, here comes Claudio in with the uppercut and stuff. He couldn't give a toss, I can tell by the look on his face. But I did like this trios match a great deal, actually, towards the end. I was mostly a fan of how they arranged Joe approaching losing his temper. Like, I love the idea of, oh, God, he's starting to get pissed off, get every security guard you've got. It's one thing, like, oh, someone's pissed off, and then the security guard comes out. I like the subtle threat of Joe, who was like, after the belt thing, he was going up in Hangman Page. I'm like, you can see him. I don't know if they bleeped it in the States, but it's more hardcore over here. So you could, like, hear the off-mic F-bombs and all the rest of it, and he looked like he was getting very agitated. One, I like that Joe just gets agitated. He's got that Eddie Kingston thing, honey, of he could just kind of feud with nothing out with Joe because you can believe he would get that pissed off. Two, I like the way he was sold as like, Joe's about to blow, maybe. Can't be sure. But just in case, get those security guards out of here. And his promo was class. 20 seconds of all it lasted, but it was.
Yeah, should we do that? Like, because it was all sort of sorted, isn't it, by the end of the show? Like,
yeah, following this, there's a video package with Jet Speed and Willow, match on Collision or whatever. Renee was backstage with Hangman Page, and Page said in 6 years he's never been so confused, said Joe had a bitch fit because he simply dropped his title while handing it to him. But he says it's about much more. Joe wants a world title match. He's very grateful, obviously, for the Ops helping out at All In, the Death Riders when he won the title. And he suggests Wrestle Dream as a place for that title match. He's happy to give him for that to happen. And later on, Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs. Renee's like, what happened? Joe says, no surprise. I'm not sure if this is a misunderstanding after all. He's so bloody preoccupied with the Death Riders, he's forgotten who he is. Page has never beaten Joe, no matter the day. He won't be better than him. He says he accepts, and he says he'll introduce Page not only to Cowboy Shh, but he's in deep shh, and we get an official match graphic. It's official for Wrestle Dream.
Welcome to a world of deep shh. Great line. That's what Joe can do. He can give you a soundbite so good that A, you forget that some of his matches as they trend towards that 10-minute mark can get a bit boring. And B, some of his sound bites are so good and delivered in such an intimidating, menacing manner that you think, why does every promo go longer than 30 seconds? Oh, it's because Joe's not doing them. I'm a conditional Joe guy.
I love the instant escalation because, as Sidge points out, there's not many better in all of wrestling than Samoa Joe for this type of story, like out of nowhere. And I like that it was so instant here that with 2 more Dynamites till Wrestle Dream, that's just the right amount of time for this to escalate further into something where it gets too personal. You know, like I was calling for the next Hangman Page pay-per-view match to have a little bit more blood and thunder to it, and this one will. So, great. Conditionally great. I think this match represents a really, really clear and useful dividing line between AEW and WWE in 2025, even when both companies are kind of on a bit of a creative decline. this to me illustrates the difference, because I saw people doing, to use Kenny Omega's words from earlier this week, tricks on it this morning, this match graphic. And I think standards are frankly pathetic that Hangman Page and Samoa Joe has been held up as a pay-per-view main event in 2020.
People love Joe.
In the same way that people would consider me pathetic for enjoying the work of Jey Uso. I genuinely mean that. Like, they would look upon that and this absolute bobbins wrestler doing his yeet bollocks, like, that's pathetic. I think this is like pathetic. Like Samoa Joe, like if in doubt, draft in Joe, press your Joe, like break glass for Joe sort of thing. Off. Like Hangman Page's second world title run, and there's all this bubbling pressure on him failing again. And I can say this while acknowledging that this is a really good out of nowhere. This is kind of what happens with Samoa Joe. He's great, Joe. Don't piss him off. Like that's how that
part of
works.
this is you hate the people who love Joe.
Like, a little bit, like
I mean, so do I sometimes.
Like I think they're not lying to themselves. It means something. Samoa Joe means something to a lot of people. Like he means something to me in a way.
I like you, Joe.
And then in a way, and then I got it all. Like I got it all in NXT. Like the TNA Joe meant something to me more than right. Hang on, the TNA Joe meant more to me than the Ring of Honor one. No. But people are getting the Ring of Honor Joe now. Mm-hmm. I got the Joe sandwich. TNA Joe meant something to me and I got him in NXT. Ring of Honor Joe meant something to a lot of people and they're getting him now. The full Joe.
Mm-hmm.
The full Joe.
You are funny.
Hangman Page is they're f***ing lying here. They're all lying here with their All Japan footage. They're lying to you. Like this, it's 2025. You got 100 f***ing wrestlers on this roster. You got 300 in the Don Callis family alone.
It's gonna have no time to edit this podcast and do the secret surprise one later.
Of course. Just Joe, that Wrestle Dream. Like Hangman Page and Samoa Joe for the world title. Yes, the match is going to be fine. Like the promo packages in the next 2 weeks might be great. I believe I can own all these thoughts at the same time. But Joe and Page, come on. Like there's too many other wrestlers. There's too many other ideas to just emergency break glass Samoa Joe for me in a pay-per-view world title. But it warms the hearts of the AEW hardcores, of which I'm not one. So do right by them before you do right by me.
Joe does something to me sometimes, and he did something to me last night. So
right, so it's time to get your 10,000 words out because it's time for Timeless Toni Storm versus Melo. Very serious Toni. She comes out, saying she almost looks lost without her world title, but no messing about. They go to the outside. Storm blocks a PK and plants Melo face first on the apron as we go to a break. When we come back, Melo hits a running boot in the corner, but keeps trying it too many times, and Storm hits a face buster. They're both down. Slugfest. They counter finishers. Storm hits a DDT. Some more boots in the corner from Melo. She tries the KO, but Storm hits a German suplex, sweet sheet music, and Storm 0 for the 1-2-3. Post-match, she grabs the mic and says, all out when the bell rang. She didn't hear victory nor defeat. She heard nothing. Silence gobbled her up. She stared at she stared at Kris Statlander and realized she was everything she wasn't, a glorious champion. All the questions followed her when she left the ring. She wondered, who the bloody hell am I? And Chrissy says, Kris Statlander, I'm not finished with you. I need to know one-on-one, name the time and the place, and I will be... She didn't say timeless. She simply drops the mic and they fade to black. And she was getting watered out of the goddamn building during all this.
Baffling, rude, hated. Toni Storm needs to bin that gear.
Oh, yeah.
It looks terrible. I got why she did it originally, but that purpose has been served. Maybe it's like a hardcore blood and guts theme. I don't know. It looks terrible. Genuinely actively detracts from what a massive star she is. The match, I tell you what, of course, it was just a match, right? You could hear a red piss and canton, which didn't help my enjoyment of it. I'll say this, I've said it for a while, so I'm completely on too long. Anna Jay's this kind of wrestler. Melo is one of these. God, they used to be way more prominent in AEW, and they've been responsible for, quite a few great moments, and they're still kicking around and they're still great. That AEW archetype needs to die. It is kind of grim. Like, God. Like Melo, Anna Jay, I'm sure there are others. Like Sammy Guevara at this point. Oh my God, I can't watch them. I feel like it's sad in it.
Yeah.
It's like when the bushwhackers rock up in like 96 and it's just like it's your day has come.
I brought a kangaroo with him.
I know.
And the walks.
That was good.
I think Hongi, what's that? Don't care.
Hey, you got a problem with that, Johnny Loose Lips? What are we gonna do? Let's walk him.
Good recovery. That's
Thank
good
you.
recovery.
Thank
I like
you.
Yeah, a lot of bushwhackers on this roster. Got a gooski. Yeah. The what stuff's a bit rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not nice.
Didn't appreciate that.
Maybe it's just Florida people. Hey.
Sorry, just checking my notes here. I know there's obviously a mixed tag in there. Anyway, but this was the one women's match on the special 2.5 episode of AEW Dynamite. Before we get to the name of the game, we have to get to the aim of the game.
The aim of the game is to identify to the hour, minute, and second the first time you hear the first note for the first woman to come out and compete for the only women's match on Dynamite. The idea being, come on, guys. What's going on here then? We want to, if we can get it to the second, we can italicize, underscore, and put in bold. Yeah? The pattern that we've kind of noticed over the years, and that is the first hour is wall-to-wall men. It's a sausage fest. And then the main event with men happens, and we can just strategically insert that women's match, because we have to, because of the bloody Wokes will kick off otherwise, yeah? We can just what the was that, pal?
Trying to be all quiet.
Oh, you were awkward, so it failed. If we could just insert it before the main event, make people think, oh, no, women on here. And then when they...
I'm the ladies' night gong.
And then when they encounter the women, the ladies, they're thinking, but then guess what? Sunk cost fallacy psychology guys are going to stick with the main event because, bloody hell, we've already been here an hour and 10, 20 minutes. That's how it works. That's how I think it works. That's how it works. You think it's Sidgwick jingleizes for me? Yes, I will indeed jingleize what I perceive to be AEW's cynical thought process. Here's the jingle. Don't worry, guys. When the women come out to play, the main event ain't too far away. And that's the aim of the game.
That's the gong of the game.
That's the gong of the game. And the name of the game is, well, this is Ladies' Night, and I'm thinking, oh, what a night.
Thanks as always to the Panda Blair himself, Adam Blair, at Alan Wilson4, and Jose Palomares at the Ho11, who always take care of the
data.
Thanks for this sort of thing. Sige, do you want to run us through our guesses from the Dynamite preview in
Sure thing.
Never know.
Should have learned it in the off time. Yeah. Anyway.
We genuinely don't know.
No. Would always press the wrong one first on Excel.
Michael Sidgwick, 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 12 seconds. Adam Wilbourn,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Michael Hamflett, with a crazy choice here of 2 hours, 11 minutes, and no seconds.
When did you give up on that dream? When you saw the graphic?
I give up on a dream every Thursday morning not turn on AEW Dynamite, mate.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm being facetious.
You gotta laugh.
You got to laugh.
It's a win for me.
You're joking. Not another one?
8 for the year for me. You two still stuck on 5. If this wins...
A bit within a bit.
Don't do bets.
No.
300 and... What was it? Matt sent us. That's
300. What a wonderful list, by the way. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Matt.
We were going... Well, he was pissing himself at our own crack during... in the office yesterday.
Sidgwick has 5 dicks. Get me a glove for Christmas.
Get me a glove for Christmas, baby.
Right, what happened next on Dynamite? Oh, we had... oh, God, I'm really sorry here. I've written the team names down. Gates of Agony, Bishop Cornto Leona, and the Swirl, which is Lee Johnson, and then I've forgotten to write the other...
Of course, I can help you out with this jam. It's Vanilla Boy.
Blake Christian.
Do you think they are called a swirl, or do you think it's just American they're called a swirl?
It's a swirl.
Ricochet was on commentary moaning about conspiracy theories about getting screwed out of title matches, not like weird stuff. He says Aubrey Edwards is in on it. Blake Christian got a blind tag, hit some corkscrew kicks and handspring kicks and what have you, but Bishop gone caught him. Fireman's carry double knees to take us to a break. When we come back, Lee Johnson gets the hot tag, runs wild, sends Corn to the outside, somersault plancher. Leona tries to slow the momentum, but Christian hits him with the tornado. Bishop Corn makes the save, and Leona steamrolls Christian, pounces him. There's a cannonball in the corner to Lee Johnson. Open the gates, gets the 1, 2, 3. Ricochet jumps off commentary afterwards and hits a spirit gun on Lee Johnson. And out comes the Hurt Syndicate. MVP's got a couple of questions. Any 954 area codes? 867-30 says
Ill-advised.
01246. That was mine. You're in my neck of the woods, he says. I guess MVP. Tell him what her name is. MVP chance, obviously. He admits at All Out he embarrassed himself and he owes the fans an apology, and the same to his business partners. He allowed a bald-headed, booty-shaking backup dancer to beat him. But you didn't beat the gold standard. You didn't beat the almighty. You just beat MVP.
Next week's the real quiz.
He wants a no DQ street fight. Yes or no, will you face us for a street fight in Jacksonville next week? Chucks the mic to Ricochet, who grabs it and says, I'll oblige you. I'll give you that ass whooping.
Match was the match, wasn't it?
You got to do this. I don't like any of it really, but you got to do it. Like, it's mid-card fair. Like, the Hurt Syndicate need to recover from their apparent not loss. It's something for TV next week. Like, Daly's
You only beat me.
Yeah, it's not a proper one. Daly's Place is an all right setting historically. Like, parking lot brawl. You know, it's a good location to dick about in.
Nice bit of environmental destruction.
Yeah, you do have to do this stuff. It's just whether or not you're invested in the characters or not. And I would say with these, it's this firm not for me.
I'm not really invested in the characters, but my God, this has got awesome potential.
Yeah.
Like this, it wouldn't surprise me one bit, and I'll try not to step on the dick of the preview. It would not surprise me one bit if we come in on Thursday morning and go, that was tits.
Hard that, actually. It'd be Wednesday morning we'll be doing it because they're counter programming NXT, of course.
Be hard that, actually. We want you to get on Wednesday, so quite easy,
point.
pal.
Good point. Somebody forgot to check his calendar.
Just 3 dickheads. That's all.
That's all it ever was.
Renee's backstage with Stat. Of course, 6 years in AEW, but never crossed paths with Toni Storm. Never wrestled.
The company, right?
Never wrestled.
AEW, isn't it?
And she wants to fight. You can have it at Wrestle Dream. And Harley Cameron comes in and hypes her up, obviously ahead of the main event. And then we're backstage with some of the Don Callis family. Don Callis, Kazuchika Okada, and Konosuke Takeshita. He says, just when you think the family's down and out, we had 2 new members. And he issues a challenge next week to Brodido to face Takeshita and Okada. And Takeshita can't believe this. And it's like, me and him. And Okada's like, yep, you and me. Callis says, you're both great. See Brodido next week.
This is where I like the bit. This was a fun segment to be illustrative of how preposterous this stable is. That you can have like multiple different cliques within the group talking in a room, and the camera can't get them all at once. I just think like it's an AGM at this point rather than a team meeting. Like I thought that was like visually quite pleasing to just see them like this. And obviously the Okada Takeshita is where the money is in all of this, like this payoff. So I like this.
Sorry to sound like a boring wrestling fan as well, but like the Takeshita Bandito chemistry is out of this world.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's another match. Sorry, I was just thinking about, like, let's see if Okada actually tries next week. 3/4 this match I'm really excited about. Main event of the evening, it was.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah. Switching gears to anything but what you've just said.
Kris Statlander and Darby Allin versus Marina Shafir and Wheeler Yuta. They do the Death Riders entrance, and Statlander and Allin jump him during the entrance. Stat chucks Yuta into a wall. Shafir puts a rear naked choke on Darby Allin. Then Shafir and Statlander go at it. Shafir locks Statlander with a choke, head scissors choke, but gets dropped onto the barricade. And Darby Allin holds Shafir and Yuta as Stat jumps off the wall onto the pile. Darby Allin puts Yuta down on a chair, goes for a plancha, but just smashes through it as we go to a break. When we come back, I don't know how many bloody chairs are in the ring at that point. Statlander fights back. Shafir goes for a 619 into a sort of head scissors spike on the apron. Darby Allin comes in, gets hit with a German suplex onto the chairs by Yuta. Shafir and Stat fight on top of the barricade. Stat gets an eye poke and suplex Shafir through the timekeeper's table. Back in the ring, Yuta gets crotched in the corner, and Darby Allin hits a superplex onto that pile of chairs. They fight up into the corner. Yuta hits a hangman's neck breaker onto the apron. Yuta goes under the ring and grabs a bag and pulls out tacks, which he spills out onto the ring. Stat cuts Yuta off. She eats an angle slam. Yuta wants a suplex onto them, but Statlander reverses it. Shafir gets a rear naked choke, but Statlander spins her out and drops her bare feet first.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
Where's some Legos?
Yuta's got some powder, but Darby Allin ducks. Shafir's the one who's blinded, and Darby sends Yuta into Marina Shafir, and she just grabs whoever that is, it's her own partner, for a choke. Stat hits a 450 splash onto the both, and Darby Allin gets the win with a coffin drop. Post-match, there's a face-off on the ramp between Stat and Timeless Toni Storm. They start brawling, security, they go to the back. Darby Allin's nailing Yuta with his belt when Pac blindsides him, and they wrap the belt around Darby Allin's neck. Mox and Claudio are there, and Moxley grabs the mic and says at Wrestle Dream, Darby, you've got zero chance at doing what needs to be done to win. You know, never say die, relentless. I don't know how, but for the first time, Darby Allin, you will say the words, I quit. And just to finish it off, Pac just lariats him as the show closes off the air.
Great lariat. This main event must have ruled because, oh my God, I'm sick of Plunder. They're doing another Plunder match next week. Did they do one last week?
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah. It was
Toni Storm Sky Blue?
Yeah.
No, that was ages ago.
That was ECW Arena, wasn't it? Yeah. Where was Dynamite last week? You know what? No, I'm thinking of NXT.
Right.
Humblest apologies.
There's always
Jordan
somewhere.
Grace and Blake Monroe.
Yeah. And I get AEW shouldn't not do like Plunder because NXT are doing it. I understand that, but my God, they just all out. The tacks were sold so unbelievably well as the last thing you'd ever want to land on. And not just that, but they were framed in both the match itself and MJF's post-match promo as this sort of like this humiliating thing to have to endure. And when you pick them out, it's like, oh God, I'm crap. I'm in a low ebb. It must be horrible. And it's just another spot in a match, really, like not a week and a half after the fact. So I could have done without the tax spot, to be honest, to be my, goddamn Rip Rogers looking ass. But like some of the character work in this was sublime. Like Marina Shafir doing that spot where she was like wrapping her legs around Statlander's head and like popping it like it's a zit, come off like the biggest badass, and then eating with like the thumbtacks in the feet. Maybe just do some Legos instead or something like that, I thought there was lots of character in this. Great atmosphere, great use of the crowd environment to kick it all off. It did feel a little bit elusive and chaotic. I had a really fun time with this match, genuinely.
Yeah, I loved it. Like this, I love the match. Really, really fun. And to Sidge's point, like you could get sick of this before the bell rings because of the amount of stuff you get like this. But it's not like this because Darby Allin does it better. Yeah, and AEW on its best day just does it better. And this
his thing on the chair.
Oh my God!
Like
this had like the brawl, like the match opening brawl was one of those moments where you could watch it like, how can they know when they're constructing this in an empty venue that this can come across as well as it does when the crowd are in there? And do you know what I mean? There's some stuff that must in their heads look so great and then doesn't work, but that it needs the energy of a live crowd to feel so chaotic and real feeling as well. This to me, bigger picture, because the match was really, really fun. In the same way that I would want the 30th anniversary of Raw to have the trial of Sami Zayn, I would want anniversary of Dynamite to have a match like this. Like, this is no pun intended. This is best foot forward stuff. Like, close your Dynamite with something that defines what AEW is that WWE or anything else for that matter can't be. Like, Darby Allin at the heart of it. We say this all the time. Like, it's never a shock when, like, hey, you know what? They might be all right. Or they wrestled Darby Allin. I think the presentation of Kris Statlander has been fantastic since she's won the belt. Like, look at her trajectory in the last 3 weeks. Wins the title and we're all like, her. And then
2 main events.
Gets the main event segment 2 weeks in a row. Gets the massive babyface like swerve turn on the Death Riders. Now wins this with the spot of the night, spot of the week. Huge match with Toni Storm on the horizon. So like proper booking of your champion and you follow through and all that. Kind of like a no-note success story for me, this, while selling this phenomenal pay-per-view match in like John Moxley saying, I don't know how I'll do it, but I'll do it. That's like the perfect heel variant to the babyface promise. You know?
Yeah.
Because you really, I don't know how he's going to make him do it, but I'm willing to go along with that he might. Like, I was starting to visualize Darby Allin being put
He was always like the promise deliverer as well, wasn't he, John Moxley?
So, like, are they going to, like, capture Sting and try and set him on fire?
I was just about to say that. I was like, there's no pain you can put Darby Allin through these. Like, oh, I think that's a bit too much for me. But there's Bryan Danielson, there's Sting, like you say. Yeah. There's ways you get people to say, I quit, like without them being a bitch.
He's got to think about it. He's got to think about like an evil scheme, not a crime, but like an evil scheme to do this beyond kicking his ass.
There's always crimes.
There is crime. Like, that clothesline was indicative of that. Like, Darby Allin.
12 bottles of bleach, please.
Yeah, all right, he's going to drink bleach and forget it. Forget I said anything. I was super into this. Super into
it. It was really good.
This Darby Allin, John Moxley program. Fantastic.
From the moment that they tried to kill each other by throwing them onto train tracks. That's awesome, that start. Oh, okay. Murder on, was it a collision as well?
Yeah.
I prefer the Dynamite stuff. Personally.
I prefer flan.
But let us know your thoughts on AEW Dynamite in the comment section below or on X at WhatCulture WWE. You actually can follow all four of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
Follow Michael Sidgwick at
I am Sidgwick.
Follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow our brilliant producer Adam Nicholas at
It's Adam Nicholas.
And follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. Of course, as I said, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. But for now, it's been the Dynamite Review. My thanks to Hamflett, Sidgwick. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.